Okay, good evening, boys and girls. Let us start. Let them join later on. So, today we shall discuss on water resources. Some of you may be knowing that this chapter, the theoretical aspects of this chapter will not be asked in the final exam, in the final board examination. However, the map items will be asked in the board exam, and that is why it is very important to have a glimpse of this chapter also, and that is why we are going to learn this chapter 3, water resources. Okay, I will present now. So this is the third chapter, water resources. So here, first of all, here you'll find a dialogue. So this is a dialogue between Pinky and Chintu. The central idea of this dialogue is the importance of water in day-to-day life. Not only in day-to-day life, it also tells the importance of water in the economic activities. See, if you read this area, see, we need water to drink, cook our food, wash our clothes, then wash ourselves. Somebody is coming. So towards ourselves, to take bath ourselves, not only it is required for day-to-day life, as you know, water is also required for factories. For factories, say in the factories also we need water for cooling the machines and for other purposes. Then the factory runs on the power supplied by this hydel power. Means electricity that we use now is also derived from water, what we call hydel power. So this is the importance of water in day-to-day life and in the economic activities. So let us proceed. See here in this first paragraph, you have already learned in the lower classes 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. That is 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, remaining 29% by land only. But see, only a small proportion of it accounts for fresh water that can be put to use. You have learned that 71% is occupied by water bodies, but only a small proportion, that is only 2.5%, is present as a fresh water. And we know that we cannot use saline water, we cannot use seawater for different purposes. We use only fresh water for our day-to-day life. And in the industrial activities also we need only fresh water, but it accounts only 2.5% of the total volume of water. And you know that water is a renewable resource. In the chapter 1 you have already learned the different types of resources. In that you have learned that water is a renewable resource, and So it is renewed, as you know, water is renewed through hydrological cycle. That you have learned in science classes also, in the lower classes also. Water is renewed through hydrological cycle. Can any one of you tell me what is a hydrological cycle? Any one of you? Yes, water cycle. Can you explain further? Yes, you are right. Can you explain further? Yes. Any other? Okay, let us see one diagram. Okay, let us see one diagram. See here, this is a mountainous area. Okay, and here this is a plain area, and here we have sea here. Okay, let us say this is a sea, water body. Let us say here is a lake, and see here from the water bodies, you know, here this is also a lake, let us suppose, and this is a sea, water body. As you know, from the water body, water is evaporated. Water is evaporated from the seas and lakes, and this water vapor will be rising upwards. Then here in the sky, cloud will be formed, and this cloud may be carried towards the land, towards the mountainous area. Okay, and here on the sea also we may have rainfall from the clouds, and when the wind, the rain-bearing wind, blows towards the land, then again there will be cloud formation, and there will be rainfall here also. This rainwater will be flowing down the slopes of the mountain. Okay, like this. Some of the water will be absorbed by the surface. Okay, and some will be entering the lake, and some will be flowing down as a river. Okay, somebody is coming. See, and this is a river, you know. I will just type. Okay, so here is a river, and here also river, or runoff, you can say, runoff. And see, here there we have rainfall, and rainwater is absorbed, and some of it is flowing down as a runoff, entering lake. Some will be flowing as a river, and this will enter the sea also. And what is in the underground is that, going on in the underground is that, here in the underground also we have a layer containing water. Okay, we call it aquifer, and this absorbed water will enter the aquifer, and this is also flowing towards the sea, and in the underground it will reach the sea. So in this way it forms a cycle. Okay, it forms a cycle like this. So see, from here water is evaporated, then again it is carried, then again here it is falling down, again it is flowing towards the water bodies and the sea, like this. So in this way it forms a cycle. This is what we call hydrological cycle. As you know, most of you have learned about it. This is just a revision. Okay, and see, that is about hydrological cycle. And now we will discuss, okay, this topic, that is water scarcity and the need for water conservation and management. So first we will discuss about water scarcity. What do you mean by water scarcity, and what are the important causes for water scarcity? That will be discussed first, and after that we will discuss about conservation and management of water. So here water scarcity means shortage of water. Simply the dictionary meaning of water scarcity is shortage of water when we want it. Okay, when water is not available, when we want to use it, that is called water scarcity. So we have so many causes of water scarcity, okay, in different parts of the world. And see, important causes are given here. See, let us read this area. The availability of water resources varies over space and time. Okay, that means this availability of water is different from time to time and from place to place. Say, for example, in case of India, say desert area, say Rajasthan deserts, there we find less water, whereas in other areas, mountainous area, we find more water. That means the availability of water is different from place to place. In some areas water is not available, in other areas water is available, and it is also different from time to time. See, in one season we may find a lot of water. For example, monsoon season. Now we are in the monsoon season and we are getting a lot of water. But in the other seasons, okay, in the dry season, say for example in the months of this winter, okay, this December, January, February, in these months we have less availability of water. So in this way, the availability of water is different from place to place and from time to time. So this variability is because of seasonal and annual precipitation. Just wait, okay. So here the variations in the availability of water is due to the variations in seasonal and annual precipitation. That is what I told you earlier. Okay, see, Rajasthan receives only about 25 centimeters in a year, even less than 25 centimeters of annual rainfall. Okay, whereas other areas like see northeastern hills, Meghalaya for example, receiving more than 400 centimeters per year. Here in Manipur also, see Tamenglong receiving around 400 centimeters per year, then Churachandpur receiving 180 centimeters per year. So we have this variation in the amount rainfall from one place to another place. And for the seasons also, I told you earlier that in the monsoon season we are getting more rainfall, in the dry and winter season we are getting less rainfall, and that is why we have shortage of water in some seasons, and we have shortage of water in some places like Rajasthan and this Ladakh area. And another important cause of this water scarcity is overexploitation. Overexploitation means overuse of water resources. Okay, in other words, we can see this excessive use of water. That means we are not using water wisely. And unequal access to water among different social groups. See the last one, unequal access to water among different social groups. See here, for this case, just one example, okay. So here this is a village, and in one section of the village, here this section of the village is occupied by low caste people. Okay, so this section is occupied by these low caste people, and here in the middle of the village, let us say here is a pond. Okay, so here is a pond, so this is a pond, and see other areas of the village. Okay, these areas, in the other areas, here other areas of the village, are occupied by the rich people or high caste people. And let us imagine if these low caste people are not allowed to fetch water from the village pond. That means this particular section of the village has the water scarcity. Okay, if some low caste section of the village are not allowed to fetch water from the village pond, that implies that that particular section people have this water scarcity. That is the point mentioned here. See, unequal access to water among different social groups. Somebody is not allowed to fetch water from the village pond. That means that particular person has a scarcity of water. Okay, so any question up to here? Any question from your side? Any question? Okay, then if you don't have, let us proceed. So one question, let us discuss. Okay, one signpost question is here. Let us discuss about it. Is it possible that an area or region may have ample water resources but is still facing water scarcity? Let us read again. Is it possible that an area or region may have ample water, means a lot of water, enough water resources, but still facing water scarcity? Is it possible that an area has, yes? Can you give me some examples? Can you give me some examples? Yes, very good point. The water is being polluted, and see here, I think you are seeing a photograph here also. See, I think you are seeing, right? And here, these are flood waters, and here these are flood waters. You know, flood waters are polluted and cannot be used for drinking purpose, and that is why this boy is fetching water from the this pipeline from the water supply. So we have enough water. We have enough water surrounding us, but the water cannot be used. So this is one example. Yes, Pauroven, your point is very good. Then these are the other scenes where there is water scarcity. Here also see the same example is also here. Another example, I mean, see, say we may refer to Ladakh area, then Jammu and Kashmir and a mountainous area where all the surface is covered with ice. Even the lakes, even the rivers also may be covering with ice. In that case also we have shortage of water. Because see here it is covered with ice, and you know ice cannot be used directly. So that is another problem. And here this is the case of desert area, and here we have absolute shortage of water. We don't say totally there is not water there. There is low rainfall and no water. So this is another case. Okay. And see another cause. Remember where we have been learning about the causes of water scarcity, and so another cause of water scarcity, okay, maybe this large and a growing population. Okay, another important cause of water scarcity is the large and a growing population and consequent greater demand of water and unequal access to it. Unequal access we have already discussed. You know, population in India is 1.21 billion, that is 1,221 million. Now it is crossing 1,300 million, and it means that population of India is growing at a very fast rate. And you know, if the number of people is increasing day by day, then we need more water for drinking, we need more water for washing, and we need more water for this agriculture also, because we need more food. It is also mentioned here, see, a large population, okay, so a large population requires more water, not only for domestic use but also to produce food, not only for the washing of clothes, for washing of utensils, for drinking, for bathing. We also require water for agriculture to increase the food production. And here it is mentioned, to facilitate higher food grain production, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated areas for dry season agriculture. See, we have come across this term here, okay, overexploitation here. Why? How water is overexploited? So water is being overexploited because of expansion of irrigation in some part of India, okay, like Punjab, Haryana, then Western UP area. So this is another cause of water scarcity. Then let us find out other these causes. And here another important cause of water scarcity is actually this is not the cause, actually this is the consequence of this overexploitation of water resources. When we overexploit the groundwater, okay, then groundwater will be lowered, affecting the water availability and the food security of the people. Actually see here this is the surface, and these are the different layers, and let us say below it we have this a layer containing this clay. Okay, here we have a layer containing clay, and here we have a layer containing sand and this pebble, and in this layer water is found. Okay, this is what we call aquifer. This is called aquifer, and here let us say this is the level of underground water. Okay, so this level of underground water is known as water table. Okay, this level of underground water is known as water this table. Okay, water table. Actually, when we overexploit water resources, this water table will be lowered. Okay, so this is the previous water level, and this water level will be lowered here. And if we again overexploit it, overuse it, then again it will be totally dried up. Once it is totally dried up, then it will be very difficult to recover. Or once the water level is lowered, then pollution level, concentration of chemicals in the groundwater will be increased. This is an important consequence of this overexploitation of water resources. Then actually the same point is again repeated here. The ever increasing number of industries has made matters worse by exerting pressure on existing fresh water. Actually, as we learned earlier, that industries are using a lot of fresh water for cooling purposes, and if the number of industries is increased, then again there will be a pressure on the fresh water. Means that the use of the fresh water will be increased, and because of that there will be again shortage of water for the human use. And another important cause is also given here. Multiplying urban centers with large and dense population, urban lifestyles have not only added to water and energy requirement but have further aggravated the problem. See, nowadays urbanization is there. The number of cities has been increasing day by day. Okay, and at the same time density of population is also increasing, and because of that we need more and more water day by day. At the same time, see urban lifestyle, in the urban areas generally we used to take a bath in the showers, and that wasted a lot of water also. Okay, and because of all these activities there will be again shortage of water. Then again, see another situation is also given here. See, as you have pointed out earlier, actually this point was already pointed out by Paurobe, and actually see, let us consider another situation where water is sufficiently available to meet the needs of the people, but the area still suffers from water scarcity. That picture represents it, and that was because of this bad water quality, bad quality of water, that is water pollution. So for example, let us take example of this Thanga Island, okay, or Karang Island. Actually, you see Karang Island is surrounded by Loktak Lake, okay, and we know that this Loktak Lake water cannot be used directly because it contains so many harmful germs. Even nowadays chemicals also there. Okay, that means water is enough. Water is this, we have enough water surrounding the this island, but we cannot use it because the lake water is polluted. Okay, we need processing of the lake water. So that is another example, okay, so of the point mentioned here. So these are the important causes of water scarcity. Can you repeat, can you tell me those points? So many messages are coming. So what are these? Actually, here these are not questions. See, can you tell me those points? What are the important causes of water scarcity? Do you hear me? Yes, over exploitation of water resources because of this rapid growing of population and urbanization. Then Kiran has joined. Then any other point? Any other point? Do you remember any other point? Okay, see again, let us remember those points. See, actually we have this shortage of water here. Okay, the first point is that we have shortage of water because of seasonal differences in the amount of rainfall. Okay, number one point. We have shortage of water because of differences in the annual precipitation, that we have given example about the seasonal variation of rainfall, that India is enjoying monsoon type of climate, and that is why in the monsoon season during the June, July, August, September we have enough water, whereas in the other part of the year there is less water. Okay, then another point is that in some parts of India like Rajasthan, then Ladakh area, we have scarcity of water due to spatial variation in the amount of rainfall. You know, in Rajasthan area, the amount rainfall is less than 25 centimeter per year. Likewise, Ladakh also. Okay, so number one point is that we have shortage of water because of variations in seasonal and annual precipitation. So this is the first point. Okay, we have shortage of water because of seasonal and annual variations in the seasonal and annual precipitation. And another point is that that you have told me earlier, that overexploitation or excessive use due to increase in the number of population. Then the third point is here. Okay, the third point is this unequal access to water. That I have already told you this example about the this one. Okay, this, remember this point. Low caste people are not allowed to go to pond to fetch water. That means that particular section of people has the scarcity water. That is called what we call unequal access to water. Then another important cause is this large growing population that we mentioned earlier. Okay, who is coming? Okay, so another important cause is this one. Simply, actually, this is the explanation of that one. Explanation of this overexploitation, then large growing population. Okay, see, these are given here. That large population means more mouth, okay, to drink water, more mouth to eat, and that is why we need to increase the food production. And so to increase the food production, we need irrigation. So irrigation is also another important point you have to. Okay, Lalmal Som, you have put forth very good points. Variations in seasonal and annual precipitation, overexploitation of water resources, unequal access to water. Very good. Okay, actually, let us again explain this point. Okay, here that this one, overexploited to expand irrigated areas. Try to remember. Then after this, we have this increase in the number of industries can be added as another point. Okay, see, increase in the number of industries. You know, industries require water for cooling the machines and for running the machines. That also another point you can add. Then multiplying urban centers, then means increase in the number of cities, and lifestyles aggravated the problem of water scarcity. Then actually pollution is also another important point. Okay, for causing water scarcity. If the water pollution is there, if water is polluted, then there will be water scarcity. So let us imagine another point. See, in this case, let us suppose this point is polluted. This pond, village pond is polluted. If the village pond is polluted, not only the low caste section, the whole general public, they will have this scarcity of water because water is polluted. So you can add another point. Okay, pollution is another point. Lalmasam, okay, you can add pollution of water as another important cause of this scarcity of water. So any other question from your side? Any other question? Any other question? Yes. How to read map? How to read map? Which one? Which map? Oh. Actually, I cannot hear properly. Please repeat. Yes. Reading map that last time we did it. Okay, actually on that day we discussed how to answer the map work, right? Okay. Okay, let us see. See. Let us say this is a map. Okay, this is a map, and here the question, for example, this is map question number. Map question is question number 22. Let us say question number 22 A. Let us say a soil type. Okay, sorry. A soil type, and another question, let us say this is another question, a forest. And if the question is like this, see here, let me just tell you the question. So on the this given outline map of India, identify features marked as A and B. So for example, here let us say here we have a shaded portion and a line is drawn here, and they are writing say for example A here, for example. If the question is like this, then you have to write the answer directly here along this line. This is what we call identification on the outline map of India or world. For history it will be world. Okay, for geography it will be identification on the outline map of India. Just let us say a soil type. Let us suppose that the soil type is red soil. So you must write the answer directly on the line, on the map itself. Okay. So in the other case, so let us say in the other case also, just you have to follow the same. You have to follow the same step. And here also another line is drawn here, and here is B. And in this case also you have to write the answer on this along this line. Let us say this forest is a mountain forest. Okay, just this is just an example. Okay, mountain forest. And see, this is identification carries 2 marks only in geography, and another 2 marks will be for location. Okay. And let us say here is another question. Okay, here is another question here, or we can add also here. Okay, or let us say another question is here. Question number question number 23, 23A. This is for location. Let us say, and okay, somebody is coming. and iron and steel industry. And iron and steel industry in, for example, this Karnataka. Okay, so let us say this is the question. So in this case, what to do? This is what I call this location. You have to locate, okay, on the same map provided by CBSE. So here in this case, let us say this is the state of Karnataka, and here you have to locate this iron and steel plant in Karnataka. Here let us say this is the location. You have to use appropriate symbol. Okay, you may put a star here, and after putting a star or a symbol, then you have to write the question number here. Okay, do not forget to write the question number. You may not put a symbol, but you have to write question number at that place. So this question number 23A, and after this you have to write the name of the iron steel plant in Karnataka. Let us say the name of steel plant is Bhadravati. So you have to write like this. First put a symbol in the particular place, then write question number. Then after that you have to write the name of the iron steel plant located in Karnataka. So in our case, the name of the steel plant in Karnataka is known as Bhadravati. So in this way you have to locate on the map of India, and location carries 2 marks and identification carries 2 marks. So you have to do identification and location on the same map provided in the question paper. And after that you have to cut the question the map from the question. You have to tear the map from the question and must insert in the answer book, and so you must bind it by a thread, and do not write your roll number or name on the map in the CBSE exam. If you write your name and roll number in the CBSE exam, then your identity is disclosed and you may be failing the exam also. Okay. So any other question? Okay. Then up to here for today. So next time we will continue, okay, about the water conservation and management. So as usual, you have to leave your names in the WhatsApp group so that I can take attendance. Thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.